feel like I have powers. Laser beam. Ha! Happy Wednesday.
Hey guys, thanks for being here. I'm Christina and I'm a reseller. Here on this channel, I do a lot of thrifting. I find new homes for old things that have been left behind. And most importantly, I do a lot of laughing. You can follow along my journey on Instagram at little.black.hanger, and you can shop all my amazing finds on POSHMARK at littleblackhanger without the vowels.
I hope you guys are having a great day. So, as you saw by the title of this video, it is time for part 3 of my You Might Be a Reseller If series. So welcome to part 3. If you don't know what this series is, I have made 2 other videos just like this where I ask you guys on Instagram to complete the following sentence, which is, you might be a reseller if. And this is a little spin off of the Jeff Foxworthy series or comedy skit where he says you might be a redneck if. So a while back I decided to do a reseller edition, and it has been quite funny. You guys seem to really like these videos, and I love making it for you because I literally just get to sit here and laugh because you guys have the funniest responses, and it's all so true and so relatable. So let's have a laugh today. Sit down, get your coffee, get your beverage of choice, your wine, your soda, your water, whatever you want, and let's have a good time. So super quickly before we get into it, if you're not already following me on Instagram, go ahead and do so. I will leave the link down below. It is at little.black.hanger, and you can participate in videos like this in the future. A lot of times I will ask you guys questions on Instagram, so I'm just a little bit more interactive on Instagram with you guys. So like I said, if you're not already following me, go do so now. Let's hop into it. I'm going to be putting the responses on the screen just like I always do because I'm really bad at saying people's usernames. You might be a reseller if your boyfriend knows your Goodwill eyes and avoids roads with thrift stores on them. Joe can definitely tell when I'm like itching to go to the thrift store. He's like, not today, girl, not today. You might be a reseller if your family sends you pictures of trash they find on the side of the road to see if you want it. Be a reseller if you panic and sweat every time you check out with more than 5 things at Goodwill. Same, especially with the prices these days. I get a little nervous. You might be a reseller if your inventory gets to sit at your dining room table more than you do. I don't have a dining room table because my dining room is my office, so yeah, the struggle is real. You might be a reseller if your text replacements for listings accidentally pop up in your text messages. Yes, this happens to me all the time. It always has to do with measurements for some reason. And you might be a reseller if you contemplate keeping a thrifted item for yourself or selling it to get money instead. Yeah, same. I even find myself sacrificing a few pieces from my own closet just to justify keeping the thing that I originally bought to resell, but now I'm keeping for myself because I have no control. No control, waking up beside you, I'm up. That's explicit, I can't say it on YouTube, but somehow One Direction got away with it. You might be a reseller if iced coffee is a part of your thrift shopping routine. Yes, I can't thrift without iced coffee at all. That's the problem though, is it makes me have to go to the bathroom, and then, you know, Goodwill doesn't have a bathroom, so that's always a problem, but I'm still gonna drink it anyways. You might be a reseller if you find thrift store receipts in every room of your house. Yes, like my purses, all of my purses have like stacks of receipts in them. You might be a reseller if you have the IKEA tarp bags. I actually don't have one of those, and I need one. I need one. Everybody has one. I kind of want the rainbow one though that they did for Pride Month. That one was really cute. I do have reusable bags. I just don't have the giant ones, and I really need that one for the bins. You might be a reseller if you've gone out in public with a tape measure around your neck. Yes, I have done this before, and I realized it luckily while I was still in the car, and I took it off and put it in my seat, forgot that I put it there, came back in the house, and then like I went to measure something and I was like, where the heck is my measuring tape? And I left it in the car. You might be a reseller if you look at someone's outfit and try to guess where they got it and how much it resells for. Yes, I'm always like looking at things I'm like, that's Free People. That's Lululemon. I'm like looking for that Lululemon symbol. That's an awkward task. You might be a reseller if you've more often than you care to admit had bits of Goodwill color tags stuck to your behind. Yes, they stick to leggings. You might be a reseller if you occasionally use inventory as a second wardrobe. Yes, I very rarely leave the house. So when I do leave the house, and like I don't have a lot of like going out clothes, I guess, so I will steal stuff from my inventory to go out. But then the thing is that I'm super clumsy, and a lot of times I'll end up staining the item and then I can't sell it. So I have to be careful with that one. You might be a reseller if you walk into a public place and call out brands everyone is wearing. Yes, yes, we're all guilty of it. I do that all the time. I even tell Joe, and he doesn't care. He's like, cool. You might be a reseller if your house looks like a thrift store. Yes, just thrifted goods everywhere. I mean, my whole house is decorated in thrifted decor anyway, so my house just looks like an antique store for the most part. You might be a reseller if you call scientist's sister to discuss chemical properties of Sharpie trying to clean souls. She's doing some investigation. She's trying to get down to the science to it. I admire you for that. That's so funny. You might be a reseller if your kids know that if an item doesn't sell, they are scoring some great back to school clothes. I do that with myself. Like, I don't have kids. You might be a reseller if every time your kid can't find something, they ask if you sold it. You might be a reseller if you get excited over an IKEA bag. You might be a reseller if you're late for work because you needed to stop at a garage sale. Can you imagine? You just like show up to work and your boss is like, where were you? And you're like, I have an addiction. Sorry. You might be a reseller if you find Goodwill tags all over your house. Yes, it's like glitter. You might be a reseller if you add up the bundle price for the outfit the person ahead of you at Costco is wearing. You might be a reseller if you just keep all the clothes with small holes and stains for yourself. Yes, we've talked about this in, I think we talked about this in part 1. I am so guilty of this. I don't like selling things with flaws. I've gotten better at it. I've gotten better with just letting it go and disclosing that it has a flaw. But used to, I would keep everything, whether it was my style or not, and now I've had to get like better about it because I was just like keeping things that I was never gonna wear. You might be a reseller if you add up how much money you could make on a person's outfit while talking to them. That seems to be a very popular answer. Apparently we're all just stalkers. You might be a reseller if you feel like quitting once a month. Amen, sister. I want to quit once a day, typically. You might be a reseller if you have cravings to go thrifting after watching other resellers on YouTube do thrift hauls. Yes. And even I watch like thrifting videos, like Thrift With Me videos, like Alexa Sunshine 83, Carrie Dayton. I love thrifting videos, but it always gives me such FOMO. And then I'm like, I gotta go to the thrift store. I gotta go. You might be a reseller if you calculate how much you can sell a stranger's outfit for when you're out. You might be a reseller if you drink lots of coffee. Yes, I drink way too much coffee, as you can tell. You might be a reseller if your husband complains the car smells like a thrift store, but you can't smell it anymore. It's because we just spent so much time around thrifted clothes. You're just like, I don't even, the thrift store has a smell? I don't smell it. I don't smell it. I like that one. That one's funny. You might be a reseller if you will touch any stain on most garments of clothing to see if it will come off. I love that you capitalized most. Because if it's a pair of underwear, if it's a pair of a bathing suit, I ain't touching it. But yes, I do that too, just to see if the stain, I'm like, is that a dirt stain? I'm like crossing my fingers that it was just dropped on the floor and abused. You might be a reseller if you have more clothes in inventory than your own closet. Yes. Yeah. Well, half the clothes in my house aren't even mine. You might be a reseller if you buy a bigger house to accommodate your inventory. Or you make your kids share a bedroom just so you can have the extra bedroom. That's funny. You might be a reseller if no one wants to go shopping with you ever. That is so true. all of my friends just want to like casually thrift, and then they go thrifting with me and they realize that I'm a crazy person and I have no chill when it comes to the thrift store, and then they're like, yeah, I just wanted to browse. I'd be a reseller if you tell your mom, don't worry, you get used to the smell when you first walk in the thrift store. Again, we must be nose blind to it. It's like a Febreze commercial. You might be a reseller if you pick your vacation destination based on the possibility of good sourcing. Yes. Might be a reseller if you're looking at other people's cart to see what you missed. Oh my God, yes, I do this all the time. I will stalk someone. So the thrift store that I go to doesn't really have a whole lot of resellers, but it has a lot of like young people. And this couple was in there the other day. The girl was like, oh, I found these Doc Martens, but they're men's and I don't think I'm gonna get them. And I literally followed her for like 5 minutes to see when she was gonna put them down, if she was gonna put them down. I didn't end up getting them because they just had a ton of wear like on the inside. They were kind of gross. But yeah, I mean, I stalked her down for them I heard Doc Martens and I was like, excuse me, hello? Can I get those? Are you gonna take those? No? Okay. Might be a reseller if you know how many packages a blue IKEA bag can hold. She's got this Tetris game down pat. If you hear crying in the background, it's Scooby. It's because I'm not paying attention to him. It's not because he needs anything. He's just a big baby. Might be a reseller if you pack for the thrift store like you pack for the beach. Huge bag, water, and sandwiches. I need to start bringing sandwiches to the thrift store. That's a good idea. Can you imagine? I'm just walking through the thrift store, filming, eating my sandwich. Might be a reseller if your kids wake up early on Saturdays because it's yard sale day. That's so cute. I love that. What a family adventure. You might be a reseller if you have ever found Goodwill tags in your bed. Yes! One time I was laying in bed and I felt something like poking me and I was like, what is this? And sure enough, it was a Goodwill tag. You might be a reseller if you always take an extra suitcase when traveling to bring back all of your finds. Yes, you got to bring that extra bag, checker bag, just in case. You might be a reseller if you look at what people are wearing and think how much you could sell it for. I'd be a reseller if you're on a texting basis with your mailman. I'm not on a texting basis with him, but he does come by every day, whether I schedule a pickup or not. And he's so nice. He's the best. I'm definitely getting him a Christmas present this year because he deserves it. Might be a reseller if you buy a coffee table with a white top just so you can use it for effortless flat lays. Yes, that is the ultimate hack. That's so funny. Might be a reseller if your selling pile is larger than your actual wardrobe. I think my death pile is larger than my actual wardrobe. You might be a reseller if you have too much beep in your house. Me. That's a mood. I just have too much shit in my house. Might be a reseller if everyone that works at the thrift store knows you by your first and last name. It's real. It's true. I actually talk a lot like with this one cashier and I actually have her phone number. So yeah, I go to the thrift store too much. Might be a reseller if you stop going to shopping malls. Yes, I cannot tell you the last time I was at a mall. We have like an outlet center that we go to just because it has a Columbia store and Joe loves the Columbia store. But other than that, I don't go to the mall. The mall stresses me out, like really stresses me out. Might be a reseller if you mentally evaluate what strangers are wearing and how much you can sell it for. You might be a reseller if you get unnecessarily angry going into Walmart and seeing all the fake Louis Vuitton bags. This was relatable by like you get unnecessarily angry going into Walmart and then the Louis Vuitton bags was just the icing on the cake. I hate Walmart. Every time we go in there, I have like a literal mental breakdown and like, get me out of here. You might be a reseller if you can't wait to get home to your freshly delivered new ring light and set it up. That's so fun. I need a ring light. You might be a reseller if you know exactly how long a piece of tape should be to seal a certain side of a USPS box. Yeah, I can just like, boop. I'm like, yep, that's gonna fit perfect. That's sad. It's sad, but I mean, you're savants. You might be a reseller if you check labels of the crap your daughter's friends leave at your house. Y'all taking it to new levels. Not only are you selling your children's stuff, you're selling your children's friends' things. I need children. You might be a reseller if your spare bedroom / office is piled to the ceiling with plastic bins for inventory. Yes, I've commandeered my entire common area, hallway, dining room, kitchen, whatever you want to call it. You might be a reseller if you're at the store and you're pricing up how much you could sell a stranger's outfit for. That is a super popular answer. Super popular answer. You might be a reseller if you tell people how much the clothes they are wearing will sell for on the internet. She's letting the world know. She's like, hey, you know, you could sell that for like a lot of money, right? You might be a reseller if your husband says you want to sell everything, and everything is in like all caps. Might be a reseller if seeing a yard sale / estate sale sign causes your little heart to flutter and your tummy to feel butterflies. You're like, yes. Might be a reseller if you see clothes laying on the sidewalk and you wonder if you could sell that. Might be a reseller if you flip through racks at the speed of lightning and call things cute garbage. We should make that a hashtag. Cute garbage. Hashtag me. Oh, and the lightning speed flipping. Like people at the thrift store who are just like normal thrifters, they're not resellers, they always look at me strange. They're like, what is this girl doing? Because I'm just like You might be a reseller if you're an aggressive shopper, as in I'll cut anyone off on the way to the sales rack. You have to be. And I don't know if any of you are from South Florida, and if you are, you probably know what I'm talking about, but people are super aggressive shoppers here, and you have to be aggressive, otherwise they'll just like run all over you, like especially at the bins. You might be a reseller if everywhere you go, you imagine how much money you could make off what people wear. You might be a reseller if you go into a regular store and are stunned at the prices. Yes, queen. I think back to like when I used to shop retail, and I'm like, or shop like regular retail, and I'm like, how did I ever pay like $20 for a t-shirt? How? Like I can get t-shirts now for like $1.50 at Goodwill. Why would I ever pay $20 for a t-shirt? But then again, I'm selling t-shirts for $20, so I'm like, you know, it's kind of hypocritical. But we're saving the environment. I'd be a reseller if you need a hit from a thrift store or a yard sale, like it's a drug if you haven't gone lately. Yes. Like 3 days I think is my max. I don't always buy something when I go into a thrift store. Sometimes I just need to like go in there and like see what they have. I just need to like touch things and like look at things, you know? It's so weird. It's an addiction. Maybe it's the smell. You might be a reseller if you stare at people's butts to see what brand of jeans they are wearing. This goes into like the Lululemon thing too, where you're like looking to see if you're correct. Like, have you ever seen someone like wearing leggings and you're like, those look like Lululemon leggings, and then you're like looking around them to see if you can find the Lululemon symbol, just to see if you're right. We're creeps. We're all creeps. You might be a reseller if you shop more for your posh closet than your own or your kids. You might be a reseller if you x-ray what the person in front of you in the line is wearing. You might be a reseller if you suffer from carpal tunnel from sharing on POSHMARK. Yes, I actually had like a really bad pain in my like wrist / thumb area a few weeks ago, and I was like, is this what carpal tunnel is? Because it freaking hurt. Like it was hurting so bad, but it's because I lay on this side of my body, so when I'm in bed I'm like scrolling on my phone with this thumb, so it was from scrolling and like sharing and stuff like that, like doing so much with this one thumb, so I had to switch to my right thumb. That's real. That's the real tea, sis. You might be a reseller if you see the Harry Potter animated sorting hat at Walmart for $10 and contemplate listing it in the home section for a $5 profit. That is girl after my own heart. Yes, anything Harry Potter, I'm like, if it gets me $2, that's fine. I just want to see it in my closet. there's items where I'm like, this item is just too cool. Like, I'm only gonna make $5 on this. Like a lot of home decor pieces, I don't make that much money on, because people don't want to pay that much for home decor, and that's fine. But it's fun for me. I like it, and I like finding a new home for it. So it's like, even though I only made $5 on it, I'm happy about that. Alrighty, so that does it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for all of your responses and making me laugh today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure and give it a thumbs up on your way out. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join our little family. We would love to have you. I put new videos out every Wednesday and Friday, and I will see you guys on Friday. Bye, guys.